Village's video this week, so far anyway. Look at it's getting ready to rain. Clouds rolling in. I love it this time of year, I really do. It rains in the afternoon almost every day, which keeps the temperatures down to tolerable levels. A couple of years ago in the summer, I'm telling you, it was a scorcher. We didn't get any rain, and everybody's yard was turning brown. We was watering the heck out of it. They even had water restrictions. That's how they do it here in the villages. When they have a water restriction because of lack of rain or whatever, they'll send you an email, because they have everybody's emails, or they'll put it in the paper, or they do it all different kinds of ways, where if your house has an ending of an odd number, then you water on these particular days if you want to. If your house ends in an even number, then you water on these particular days. And each district is different. So like District 10, maybe let's say you got an odd ending number. So your watering days will be, say, Tuesday and Friday. And you have to water between the hours of, say, 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. They designate that too. Well, District 11, instead of being, say, Tuesday and Friday, their watering days might be Monday and Thursday. And probably about the same hours. And the reason for that is for water pressure and things of that nature. So, but we haven't had that for a while. I've been here 5 years, and we've only done that once. And ironically enough, it was like the very first summer that I lived here that happened. So I didn't know if that was going to be an every year event or not. But anyway, I got a couple of questions here. They're asking me, so I'm going to do my best to answer them. They're a little different than normal questions, which is kind of it's a refreshing thing for me, really. I answer so many questions about the villages and what I think about this or that, and I'm more than glad to do that. Don't get me wrong, that's what my channel's about anyway. But every now and then somebody will ask me a personal question. I love to answer them because it's just a little different. Now this one's going to be maybe a little strange to you, so, just sit back, drink your coffee, have a cigarette if you smoke, and just go along with it. Skip. I'm just kind of interested. I've been watching your videos for the past 3 years now, and I'm a very curious person about people and their personalities. If you don't mind me asking you, and if you don't want to answer, I totally understand. But if you don't mind me asking, do you believe in UFOs, and do you believe in the supernatural of things like Bigfoot and those types of events that happen, it seems, around the world more and more every day? Thanks for your time. I'll continue to keep watching. I left a little bit out there of what's in there. Well, Kevin, let me just say, and right up front, oh, by the way, it's Yingling Time. Someone asked me that too, say if that was my favorite beer. It seems like down here it is, because you can get it at a very reasonable price at any liquor store, anywhere. Every bar has got it. Is it my favorite beer? I don't know if I have a favorite beer, but it does seem like that I like the lager family. All the beers that I like the best, I have noticed, and I really never paid any attention until somebody asked me once about what kind of beers do I like, and I named off, I don't know, 3 or 4 of them that I like, if I can get it at a reasonable price, and they don't, jack the price up. I stay away from craft beers, mostly, because craft beers to me are like, they're good, some of them are good beers, don't get me wrong about that, but they're just like way out of line on price. $6 a bottle, come on. But the beers that I do like is I like Yingling, I like Sam Adams Boston Lager, I like Sam Adams Oktoberfest. I like, oh gosh, it's been so long since I drank some of these. What the heck's it called? It's in a green bottle and has a silver foil on top, kind of like champagne. I can't think of the name of it. I haven't had that for a long time. You can't hardly find it down here. Indiana, you can find it everywhere. And not to say you can't find it here, but it's not readily available. Anyway, of all the different Heineken, there's another one I like. But anyway, all them beers that I mentioned had one thing in common. And the guy told me, he said, "Oh, so you like lagers?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "That's just what I like." And I got to looking at all the bottles he was talking about. I do. It seems like all the beers I like the best, they're all in the lager family. So that's what it is. Okay, to answer this question here, do I believe in things like Bigfoot and UFOs and things of that nature? That's kind of like a two-part question, really. Let's start with UFOs. Do I believe in UFOs? The short answer is yes. But now let me explain that to you. I'm not from the show me state, but I'm from the part of America where we don't listen to crap very long before we realize that it does smell like crap. I do believe in UFOs, but UFOs does not mean flying saucer. Everybody just kind of attributes that a lot. I noticed that. You mention UFO and right away the flying saucer thing comes up. The only thing UFO means is unidentified flying object. That could be a bird. That could be some kid's kite that got caught on radar. That could be anything. So yes, I do believe in UFOs. Now when you start talking about some of the flying objects that they see out in the desert and in Florida and all these different places, they all had one thing in common also. Most of those UFOs are usually around a part of America that has military bases. And like Area 51, over here in Tampa is an Air Force base. They have a lot of UFO sightings over there. Phoenix, all these areas. So I think all these so-called UFOs that we see is us. It's secret military machinery, test flying. That's exactly what I think it is. And do I agree with it being secret? Yes. There's national security as far as I'm concerned. And so that's what I feel about that. Do I believe there's any flying saucers out there from some other planet? No. Not in my lifetime, there's not going to be. It's a nice thought, makes a good movie, but I don't believe that. Bigfoot and things like that. Do I believe in that? No. I believe it's good for tourism. I believe it's a good fairy tale story. Just like the Loch Ness Monster. You know, there is no Loch Ness Monster. There never has been a Loch Ness Monster. They got one in Michigan up there, Lake Champlain or someplace. It's called Champ. It's supposed to be another like a Loch Ness Monster there. I don't know where they're all at, but do I believe in any of them? No. But I do believe if you go to any of these places where there is a so-called monster, there's probably a lot of tourism. There's probably a lot of souvenir shops and a lot of hotels and boat rides and all these things. It makes for good tourism, and that's fine. But do I believe in it? No. For a lot of reasons, and most of them are scientific reasons. That, like in the Loch Ness Monster, well, all of them example. Let's clump them all in one little thing. Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monsters, whatever. They say, how many of those would there have to be in order to have a continuing colony of those animals without getting into inbreeding and things like that? Because inbreeding will wipe the whole colony out. And they told, you know, well, in one instance it had to be at least like 2,500 animals, and another one it had to be at least 1,500. It goes on and on and on. So, no, there is not. There's not the food supply. Everything that you add up, they're just not, it's just not there. Bigfoot. Could there be a breeding colony? Oh, that I don't know if any of you have been up in that northeastern or western quadrant of the United States and Canada, but it's massive. I've been up there. It's massive. It's a sea of green. There's more wooded acreage up there, I think, than anywhere else in the United States. And I'm talking old stand. It's prehistoric looking, a lot of it. I'm sure there's probably some unidentified animals there we haven't discovered yet. Bigfoot? I don't think so. Many sightings, as you hear up there, and people talk about, it's always in a touristy area. And second of all, where's the evidence? Any of it whatsoever? Let me tell you a couple of them that I know. There was a guy that had a thing on TV, some kid. He wanted to get his 15 minutes of fame, I think. They're interviewing him. He said he shot and killed one. Said it was a female and it was carrying a young one. He said he shot the female and she went straight to the ground and dropped the young one, and it was just standing there. So this guy, in his ultimate wisdom, he shot the young one too, killed it. Now, first of all, that tells you what kind of person that is, right? Well, he didn't have anything, said he couldn't move him. I don't know why. So he gets in his car or truck or whatever he had, and he left, went back to town, get his buddies to help him, got a camera, and they went back up there. Well, it snowed. He said they couldn't find the bodies in the snow. Couldn't remember where he shot them at. Well, when the snow melted, they went back. They found the area, or what he thought was the area. There was nothing left. He thinks the animal ate him and drug everything off. No fur, no blood, no bones, no nothing. 2 individuals, nothing. So now think about it. He goes back and he shoots him. While he's standing there, looking at him, dead. I don't know any hunter that goes out hunting that doesn't carry a knife. They all have a knife. But you're telling me that it didn't dawn on this guy to cut off a hunk of skin, hide with hair and some blood samples on it, and maybe cut off a finger, something to take back with him and say, I shot Bigfoot, I don't know if I can find it, but here's some stuff I got. Nothing. I don't believe any of that. Another guy said he shot one and he took the body home and he put it in his freezer. You guys might remember this one. And it was frozen. And he wanted to sell the body or something to the highest bidder. He wasn't going to show it to nobody. Well, he got some people interested in it. They demanded to see it first. So they go over to his house, I guess. He did open up the freezer for him. One of them took a picture of this thing. It was at the bottom of his freezer, and it seems to me there was some controversy about how it looked or whatever. So they wanted to take some samples, and he allowed them to do that. Come to find out, all it was, if I remember right, it was a, oh gosh, I can't remember what the article said now, but I want to say it was just a monkey's costume that was like soaked in water or something, and then he put it and froze it, and it just kind of looked dead, but it was nothing. You kept thinking, what's this moron thinking? But anyway, that. And of all the ones that you see or hear about, thousands and thousands of different reports, not one of them's ever been accidentally hit by a car. None of them's ever been shot by any kind of a hunter anywhere. There's not a good picture of anything. They're always blurry. It's always far away. You can't never identify nothing. It's in the middle of the night. They don't have any scientific evidence at all. So is there a Bigfoot in my mind? No. I just think it makes good tourism. And that's it. That's just the way I feel about it. And that goes for any other kind of monster that might be roaming the deeps. So anyway, you say, well, I know somebody's going to say this. So, well, they didn't know that the giant, what was it called in the ocean? The giant, not octopus. God, my mind not anymore, I swear. But anyway, they didn't know that existed. People say they didn't know that existed until they accidentally caught one. That's not true at all. It goes back 100 years. You can Google this information. It goes back 100 years that the long tentacles that was broken off of them during a fight or when they died or whatever, washed up on shore. The Japanese fishermen would accidentally get a dead carcass, and they drag it up on the boat and took pictures of it before they dumped it back off the boat. The whales. The Japanese still did whale hunting back then, and they still do, I think. But anyway, they'd bring these whales up on shore, and they would see these sucker marks on the side of the whale's head where they had had a fight with the squid, the giant squid. And so they would cut the whale open to dissect it and open the stomach up. And they would find these beaks from the giant squid inside the whale's stomach. Even though they've never seen a live giant squid, for 100 years, we've always known they existed. That's the difference. And on this other stuff, what do we got? I think, maybe, it could be, this guy said, that guy said, he, she, sells books, sells magazines, and it sells little fuzzy dolls. That's all it does. That being said, thanks for asking. It was fun. What do you think? Leave it in the comments below. Tell me, what do you think? See you on the other side.